Hello everyone, I'm Delay and welcome to an episode of 999. Today I have a new guest with me. His name is Meta or MetaBoi, and he's another friend of mine and also a friend of Zydo's, and he's going to be our guest today. He says, "Tell everyone I said hi." Yeah, he's going to talk using text as well, just like Zydo. We researched this a little bit and decided that this is where we're supposed to go next. We are going to choose the 8th door here. Let's skip real quick. And door 8. Oh, it looks white this time, so interesting.
I think I'm gonna go with door 8.
I'm on adventure mode again.
Okay, 8 it is.
Can I skip this? No. Okay, this is all this all counts as new. What? V, that means MetaBoi. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright then. That means June's gotta go through 7.
What? Why?
What?
Santa grimaced and muttered angrily to himself, but finally he began to explain.
If the 6 of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind, there are only 3 ways we can do it.
Plan A. I think I saw these texts before, but I can't skip it because the game counts it as a new route, I guess.
Have 3, 5, and 8 go through 7, and 4, 6, and 7 go through 8.
Plan B.
4, 5, and 7 go through 7.
Okay, I'm just going to skip this.
There are no other In other words, you get it now?
As Santa finished, June looked over at Junpei, tears welling up at the corner of her eyes.
Oh no! You're saying we aren't gonna see each other again for a long time.
Yes. Okay, yeah, these are all the same, I think. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, still his resolve, and his best to smile.
Hey, come on. You're making it sound like we're never gonna see each other again. We gotta split up.
Is this
only
the same?
for a while.
I can't tell, actually.
This is just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too.
Okay, yeah, this is the
I'll
same.
bet 7 and...
You mean they're connected?
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere.
Why?
If they, in other words, Zero, I'm damn. He's not gonna.
Everything's...
Come
Yes.
on. Santa's voice shattered the moment.
You guys are done, right?
He stretched out and continued.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 7 and Clover can take 8. Any problems with that, Clover?
Clover looked away and was silent for a moment.
Whatever.
It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care.
Alright, we're ready to go then. Let's move.
At Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Santa, 7, and June walked toward door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Junpei headed for door 8. For a long moment, they stood in front of the door. Then Lotus said, Lotus laid her hand against her chest and turned to Junpei and Clover.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then shall we go?
Okay, I already did this door before. I think this was the first door I chose, actually. So I guess I'll know
It's open.
the answers to puzzles this time. But I guess we have to do this to get the next ending. A narrow hallway stretched out before them.
Okay.
Hurry!
Let's check the flowchart, by the way, just to make sure. Okay, yeah, this is unlocked now, and I guess I'm going to unlock some scenes here. And then here, and here, and then this will unlock, and I'll get the ending here, I guess. Can I skip this? Oh, I can skip now. Nice. Okay, let's just see what's new. A lot of skipping in this episode. Maybe I should have checked what was here before starting the episode, so there wouldn't be any more waiting. What's new is that Junpei kinda knows the future. Well, I'm not Junpei. I don't really like Junpei, so please don't call me Junpei. Come on, he just called me Junpei. So yeah, I guess we have to solve this puzzle again. That's a no. I'm not going to read all of these again, so.
What kind of job do you have? What are you?
Oh, this is new. Interesting. This is new.
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Why?
Lotus blinked.
Huh? Oh, it was just something.
She stopped typing for a moment, and her face fell.
I see.
This was not an avenue of questioning to be pursued, Junpei realized, and quickly shut his mouth. Lotus's fingers began to move again, and in a few seconds she was back up to speed. As she typed, more letters and symbols that meant nothing to Junpei began to pour across the screen.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute what?
Can I skip now? No.
A brute force attack is... Well, the short version is that I just attack the thing head on. The long version?
Without looking up or slowing down, she began to explain.
A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher. It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. I'm writing a program that would run an attack like that on its own. It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do.
Even as she talked, her fingers never slowed or missed a key. Junpei couldn't help but feel a little awed.
No, but back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display? It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it?
Can I skip now? No.
How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, all right? So you enter 1 + 1. The screen will show you 2. See? Isn't that strange?
No, not really.
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago. You're just not getting it, are you? Who calculated 1 + 1?
The main computer, right? You said it connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating. And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see the color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Oh, I see. So this wire supplies the power. Eventually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes. Just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations.
Oh.
But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea that the monitor and the computer are connected wirelessly.
Lotus continued to type. Junpei scratched his head.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing, really. It's just, I thought maybe, what if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh.
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting. So stimulating this part of the brain causes the person to see colors. That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes that function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain. See? Doesn't it sound the same? Maybe the brain is just an output device, like this monitor.
Interesting.
Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body. We just don't know it. We never even think about it. just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communications, we can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
Junpei didn't say anything. Not so much because he had no retort. No, her argument just seemed silly, and he was a little surprised to be hearing something like it from someone like her.
Brain is just an output device. Human thought actually occurs somewhere else.
Meta says, a really interesting thought. What do you think about it? If it exists, where is our main body? I don't know. But maybe there is someone like... So, in one of my playthroughs, I saw a coffin, and there was like a banging sound. What if one of the characters is actually in the coffin or something, and the one, their body we see is maybe just a puppet or something? Interesting.
That's just crazy talk.
Did those really think that? He wondered. It was a little creepy, Junpei thought. It sounded altogether too much like a bizarre cultish religion.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia.
Oblivious to Junpei's increasing discomfort, Lotus continued.
If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all. He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories because the monitor, his brain, has been damaged.
Huh.
I suppose that would explain aphasia and blindsight too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly.
Meta just
People
said
with
something funny, but
prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Meta just said something funny, but I'm not going to say it because that's spoilers for another series. Oops.
Wait a minute.
What is prosopagnosia?
What?
He knew what aphasia was from watching medical dramas on TV, and blindsight was easy enough to guess, but he never heard the word prosopagnosia before.
What? You've never heard of prosopagnosia?
Lotus spun around in her chair to look at him. Junpei just shrugged and shook his head.
No. What is it?
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces.
Oh.
In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things. Their voices, their clothes, their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so. Well, you've seen monkeys, like in a zoo, right? To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same, even though they've obviously got faces. It's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually. But you or I couldn't, unless one had a scar or something else to set it apart. Well, that's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Huh. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
Huh. Junpei did his best to act as though the entire lecture hadn't gone entirely over his head.
And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device, like a monitor.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half of it.
What about the other half?
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Not funny.
Lotus's smile had something rather masochistic to it. How do you read that? Masochistic? Probably masochistic.
It's nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time. But looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Why?
I don't have to kill time any longer.
As she spoke, Lotus raised her right arm high and brought it down on the enter key.
Oh, then you finished that brute whatever thing?
I certainly did. And let's see what we got.
Chunks of text flickered on and off in quick succession, and a line of numbers appeared, blinked, and disappeared. The screen cleared, and all that was left was the word accepted.
Piece of cake.
I wonder what they would have done if Lotus wasn't here on this room. Lotus would clearly have patted herself on the back if it would not have made her look entirely ridiculous. After a few seconds, the accept disappeared to be replaced with 9 squares. Can I skip now? No. Arranged in a 3x3 square.
The screen changed again. What the hell is that?
No idea. Looks like a puzzle.
Meta says they would drown, of course. Suddenly, Lotus stood up.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do any more. It won't let me do any more programming. See? The keyboard. Nothing.
Can I skip now? Yes, okay.
I wanted to ask you something.
Oh, a new scene again. Right? Yeah, looks like it.
Hmm?
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right? Did you hear him say, like, anything weird?
Huh?
Why is she asking me this? Junpei wondered. The more he thought about it, however, the more it made sense. Snake had been gone for a long time. Clover was quite attached to her brother. Of course she would have been worried about him.
Well, let me think.
He thought back to when he'd gone through door 5, hoping he might remember something, even a small something that would help her. However...
Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person, or something like that, but that's about it.
Okay.
Clover's words were barely audible. She nodded vaguely to Junpei and turned to walk away.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hmm?
Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but if you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if... Is Snake, was he born...
You're talking about his eyes?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got in an accident. A really bad car accident. He couldn't see after that. And his arm.
His arm?
Yeah. My brother's left arm is... it's not like a normal person's arm.
Is the prosthetic or something?
It's fake. It's
Ah,
not a real arm.
I see.
The accident hurt him really bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm.
Oh.
Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Talking about her brother had clearly taken a great deal out of Clover. Junpei nodded.
Look, I'm sorry for making you talk about all that painful stuff.
It's not that.
Clover only shook her head and walked off downstairs. Look, I've been playing this game for 4 hours now, and I recorded all of it, so I'm having trouble talking right now. I'm sorry. Okay, so was that the other scene? Yes, I guess we can just skip, probably. Skip to the next part, but let's just finish this room just in case. Okay, we finished it. Nice. You found it. And these are all the same. Okay, let's just use the flowchart and go to the next key. Engine room. Oh, wait. Which one should I choose? Wait, I'm gonna try something real quick. Ah, I see. I guess let's just do it from start. Oh, it's this room. Ah. Okay, I'm not going to read all of these again. I did this like 2 days ago. Oh, it's something new. They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed them.
You know, speaking of experiments,
Here we go again. Santa suddenly stopped.
there was this experiment some scientists did with rats. First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it. The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded.
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
You're right. It isn't very interesting. Yet. See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit.
Huh.
Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one.
It's the same thing again. All of these scenes all lead to the same conclusion. The existence of some sort of remote information transfer. They all did the same thing. June talked about some kind of material. Seven talked about some kind of material having its properties changed remotely, and then Lotus talked about a main body being somewhere else, and then now Santa is talking about this. Oh, whoops, pressed the wrong button. They all lead to the same place. Very interesting.
These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy? They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
Ace looks skeptical. Santa snorted at him.
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Alright, there was June here. I completely forgot about it. Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to lead the topic alone.
Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Santa stopped and turned around.
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
Santa gave a grim bark of laugh.
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that?
Huh?
Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Oh.
Interesting. Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Isn't this situation oddly similar to the rat situation? These characters are in an emergency and now they are solving all of these puzzles. And they are emerging out of the escape rooms. And their, their intelligence emerges. That sound is so satisfying for some reason. Oh shit, this is going to be hard. Wait. Ah! I'm an idiot. I already got this scene. I think I don't need to continue playing this. I thought I forgot about it and continued to solve the puzzle. Well, I guess we can just teleport to the next scene because we already unlocked this key. Let's go. Okay. Ah, a new scene again. Just then, Junpei heard a noise. He spun around, just time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
Hey! June, are you okay?
She did not respond. Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finished the box thing, alright? Just put the cards in the boxes. I'm counting on you.
He shoved the cards into Ace's hands and ran off toward June.
Are you alright? What happened?
Junpei called up to her as he ran.
Can you stand?
As he arrived, June was climbing to her feet with Santa's help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just tripped.
Don't give me that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
Just let me see for a sec.
Junpei put his palm on her forehead.
Huh.
You're still warm.
Her temperature was much the same as it had been the last time he checked. She wasn't hot like she'd been before, but she was still warm. Her fever wasn't completely gone. But Junpei definitely thought she was hot.
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know?
Junpei would have been more willing to agree if June had been quite so much help standing up. Had needed quite so much help standing up.
Still, to fall down like that? I think she's probably still a little messed up.
Meta says Junpei is horny. Yeah, he is. Like, all the time, he's really horny. June was doing her best to busy herself, brushing dust off of her dress. Her smile looked a little embarrassed, and her face was a bit flushed. But she did look a great deal better than she had. Still.
Alright, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Medicine. Medicine, huh?
Didn't Ace find some medicine somewhere, now that I think about it?
Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ah, I see.
Ace? Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, really? So we are getting some backstory on Ace now. Nice. Wait, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Wasn't the organization that kidnapped the kids called something like blah blah pharmaceuticals? I hope Ace is not Zero or something.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think.
Oh shit, yeah. Cradle Pharmaceutical was the organization that kidnapped the kids. Fuck. Well, let's see where this goes.
Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil. Soparil.
That sounds familiar.
I've heard of that before somewhere.
Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard about Sopril before. Sandy continues.
Soparil. It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature. A lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug. It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots. It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals' stock did too.
Why do you know all of this?
Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Santa's reply was blunt and simple.
I heard it from the old man himself.
From Ace? When?
By the number 4 door at the central stairway, when we were searching the second class room. Remember how Snake, 7, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
Huh.
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
Well, Junpei can't be worried about something really because he doesn't know the other playthroughs, but I really am worried about something right now. As he spoke, Junpei looked over toward Ace. Is he still having trouble trying to figure out which cards go in which boxes? He seemed to be having difficulty with the 9 boxes.
What the hell is he doing?
He turned back to June and Santa.
June, don't push yourself, alright?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
He gave them but a short nod, then turned and headed toward Ace.
What are you doing?
Ace's back was to him as Junpei approached. The older man turned around to look at him. His face was pale and covered in sweat.
What happened?
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures.
Ace held the cards out to Junpei, splayed out in the shape of a fan.
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia.
Wasn't presbyopia... Wait... There was something that started with P that Lotus said that was about not being able to recognize faces. Was that this? Presbyopia?
Growing old is a difficult thing.
It isn't that. Okay, I see. What is it then? Is it like just bad vision or something? He made the best attempt he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed, and his lips were pale and drawn. I think it's being short-sighted because of your age. Okay.
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. Junpei looked at him quizzically.
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out?
Junpei looked down at the cards in his hands. All the pictures were quite clear, and each person easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so bad?
But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
That was when Junpei remembered what he heard from Lotus much earlier. So it isn't that, but the overall conversation was related to that anyway, I guess.
Prosopagnosia.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but it was related to the... to the context.
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. so they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia?
Junpei took another look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs, looking quite depressed.
Well, he looks depressed enough to have it.
If you really did have prosopagnosia, there was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything would be alright if it happened that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best he keep Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being.
Oh well.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back toward the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures, and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment, and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2.
I think I can skip now, yes. Actually, wait.
And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
Okay, yeah, Look, this is unlocked now. I can go here now, yes. Okay. If I cut all the boring parts, this episode is probably like 30 minutes long, so I think we can keep going. Let's just teleport to here. Junpei and Jun ran to the large hospital room together. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners.
She's not here.
No, she isn't.
Alright, just in case, we should go take a look in the shower room.
Shower room?
Which ending does this see to? The knife ending, okay.
That's where her brother is. She might have gone to see him.
Jun bit her lip. She knew, as Junpei did, that there was only one thing to see in the shower room, and it wasn't pleasant.
Well, we might as well check, right? Let's go.
There was a screwdriver stuck between the door and the frame.
Good. We can still get in.
We should thank Seven later.
Junpei and Jun slipped through the door, moved down the hallway, and stepped into the shower room.
No luck.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
Jun's voice was faint, and she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little green.
The smell is horrible.
The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. If Junpei had eaten a lunch, he would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. And the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the divider.
Let's check the back, just to be sure.
Jun offered no resistance and nudged the vehicle to Junpei as he headed around the divider. He stopped at the corner and turned his head.
No, she's not here.
As he'd expected, Chlor was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the other side of the divider was a dead body lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood.
Snake, just where did your sister go?
Junpei whispered to what once was Snake. He'd asked rhetorically, of course, as there was no way he'd get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
Such a horrible way to go. The skull shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted. Huh? Wait.
The bright white of the ulna, or ulna, was clearly visible through the remains of skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna.
Bones.
This is not Snake. Snake doesn't have a real left arm. This is not Snake. The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Chlor had told him in the laboratory.
My
This isn't
brother's
Snake.
left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. The accident hurt him really bad.
Of course. Of course.
I fucking knew it as soon as they said, like in the past, I don't know if you remember Meta, but they said something like, the face is messed up, you can't even tell who it is, they said. But the clothes match, they said. Of course, I fucking knew it was foreshadowing for this.
Why didn't I realize it earlier?
Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was prosthetic, but the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was quite clearly a real human arm, or at least it had been once. That man's. The corpse.
Jumpy?
June's unsure voice at Junpei's suddenly strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
Oh, sorry for making you wait. Let's go.
Okay, wait, this might be worse actually. If Snake was alive, then maybe the one that killed us in the submarine ending, maybe that was Snake. But why would he kill his own sister? Fuck. Maybe he wasn't a murderer, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's just continue for now. Junpei and June head back toward the large hospital room. They step through the door and out the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when Seven appeared, breathless and yelling.
Junpei! June! Where were you guys?
He looked pale and his face was drawn. Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath was caught in his throat.
Did something happen?
Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air.
Clover is dead.
Fuck! Why? How?
I found her in the first-class bathroom.
Fuck. Well. I guess this is another bad ending then. All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was an empty, muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. June's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. He could have helped her, but he hadn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there, frozen in place.
Clover. Clover. Why? Why did this happen?
He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded into his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse. No breath. But she was still warm, and her eyes were closed peacefully. It would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slowly expanding puddle of blood beneath her. He traced his sword to her back. A gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they left. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover smile.
Clover!
Her innocent smile. Her energy. He would never see her smile again.
No way.
He could have done something. He could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot.
Let's get out of here, June.
Junpei lifted limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom.
Are you alright?
It was a foolish question, and he knew it.
Yes, I think so.
Her voice was weak. The fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to recede as quickly. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder, and they walked back to the bedroom.
You should get some rest. Here, the bed. Can you sit?
Yes.
She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they dipped into the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back in the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as slumped figures gathered there.
Who was the first to find the body?
Me.
Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up.
Why did you come to this room?
To look for Clover. Why else? I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Hey, guys! I found her, but it's bad. She's in the bathroom in the first-class cabin. Come quick! Or something like that. Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me or something because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right?
Junpei nods and closed his eyes. There was one more thing he needed to ask.
7. There's one more thing I'm worried about.
What?
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right? Why did you do that?
Come on, didn't I already tell you that? I did it so that the door wouldn't lock. So we could come back to this room? Oh. You think I did it?
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
For crying out loud.
7 sighed and shook his head.
Follow me.
There were 2 doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right.
A closet?
Yeah.
Sam stepped inside. He stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it and gestured toward a small box. The box was small. The box was a small metal cube. He looked at Junpei.
This is the reason. This safe. We couldn't open it when we were getting through this room.
Ah, I remember.
I
Yeah.
figured there might be something pretty important in it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the safe. And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5 again. So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it.
Figured it wouldn't open.
It was as locked as it had been when Sam found it.
Huh?
There was one change, however.
This is...
Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish-brown powder.
rust.
Junpei stared at it, considering.
If there's rust here, that means... Has someone opened the safe?
Junpei left the closet. Sam followed him back to the bedroom.
Huh?
It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. They sat, frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of here. Or there.
Maybe there's another clue. Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover.
As quickly as they could, they searched around, under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway of door number 5.
Behind this door. The ninth man's body is behind there. Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case.
Quietly, he pushed open the door.
Ugh.
The smell hit him like a blow to the face.
Oh, the hell? This smell is...
His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such fetid air. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there into a violent froth. It was too much for him, and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile spattered onto the floor. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. On the floor, next to the broken mass of the man's head, lay his glasses, cracks spidering across the lenses. The bloodstains near them had already dried, like scabs on the floor.
Wait.
That was when he noticed.
It's gone. His bracelet. It's gone. It was right next to the glasses.
But now, it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone.
But why?
Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice.
Where'd Junpei go?
It had drifted up to him from the living room. Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway.
Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway?
Sam looked up as Junpei entered the room.
Yeah.
Did you find something?
He thought for a moment before he responded.
No, nothing.
Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything, in a way. In fact, that was the problem. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The Nightman's bracelet.
What's up?
Well, I wanted you to take a look at something.
What is it?
Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom.
Clover.
Her bracelet is gone as well. Fuck. As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips.
What was it you wanted to show me?
His voice was hollow and empty.
I searched Clover's body again. A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or something. And I found this.
As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head, then knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
What?
Oh! Also, fucking hell, that's so disturbing, seeing her hands in that color. Ah, fuck. She was holding a piece of paper.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
What?
He wasn't sure what he meant, but it likely didn't matter. The paper was more important.
I'm opening it.
He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were two sentences written on it.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
What is this? Some kind of secret code?
Oh fuck, there's still a lot until we get to the next ending. I might actually end the episode after we finish this section. Someone peered over Junpei's shoulder and at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note.
A code.
The first clue was likely the phrase "sinister hands." Sinister hand means the left hand, I guess.
Sinister was a term used in heraldry that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms. The left hand. The left hand. What does the left hand mean?
Junpei looked at his own left arm, at the bracelet on his wrist.
Does the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet?
He examined the bracelet closely.
There's two things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth gone.
Truth gone. Maybe those two words. How about reading it out loud? Truth gone, truth gone, truth gone. Truth gone, truth gone, truth gone, truth gone. I don't think that's it. Truth gone, truth gone, truth gone. But it could be something about a gun. But probably that isn't it. How about switching the sentence around? Gun truths, gun truths. Wait. Gun had truths, gun had truths. Gun had truths. The gun had the truth, maybe? What else could gun and truth mean? How about reading them backwards? Huh. Let's try this.
How about switching the sentence around? Gone had truth. Well, that makes even less sense.
Okay.
Clearly, switching the words isn't going to help.
Time for a different idea. How about reading it out loud?
Maybe there's something about how they sound out loud. Truth. Gone. Nope.
No,
Sounded
fuck.
the same in my head.
Time for a different idea. What else? Let's try this as
How
well.
about reading them backwards? Gone and truth. Enog and Hitert.
Not that, I guess.
What am I saying? Those aren't even words. I doubt that's what the riddle was trying to say. Wasn't a bad idea, though.
Truth, gone. Those are words. What else could gone and truth mean?
What else could gone and truth mean? Truth, of course, means something that is correct. Something that's fact. In other words, something that is...
Right.
You could then safely assume that gone means left. After all, after someone left, they were gone.
Ah.
But in this case,
see.
they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. Then truth equals right, and gone equals left.
I see. Junpei looked at the bracelet again.
The left and right of the bracelet. These two things sticking out. So if I...
Press them in the following order. Ah, shit. Okay, this is... So, what was... Can I open the menu, please? I can't open the menu, fuck. What was the riddle again? Truth had gone, truth had gone, truth had gone. So that means... right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Truth had gone, truth had gone, truth had gone. And then... What? One after another, 8 numbers flashed on, then off the face of Junpei's bracelet.
Wait, did it just...
He checked one more time, to be sure. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Hey, what are those numbers?
Okay, this is getting really interesting. But where are we on the flowchart? Still here. Okay. Junpei didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Besides, he was sure he would forget the numbers and the order they came in, if he had said anything.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Junpei headed toward the bedroom.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Ah!
1, 4, 3, 8,
I
3, 4,
see.
2, 1.
Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that required a sequence of numbers such as the ones he just discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. So, I just want to pause for a second and think about the note. So, who actually wrote the note? Is the question. It could have been Clover, it could have been anyone, but I think there's one thing we need to get from this. Whoever wrote the note probably didn't want Snake to find out, because it wasn't in Braille, you know, and Snake is blind. So maybe that was the point. Maybe. But then there shouldn't have been a reason to make the riddle. They could have just, you know, actually wrote a real note. So I don't know. Maybe it wasn't because Snake is blind or something. I don't know. Fuck. Anyway, let's just continue. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? Shumei slowly dialed in the numbers the bracelet had given him.
1 to the right.
1 to the right. To the 1, to the 1, to the 3. Okay.
4 to the left. And... Oh,
Finished.
bingo. I knew it was for this.
A small, telltale sound of a lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up.
Oh, is this some sort of note?
Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as Clover had been holding.
Let's see.
Junpei picked it up. This is what it said. Ah. Fact 1. The Nonary game was played once before, 9 years ago. I see. So, that's the kidnapped kids. Fact 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. I see. Fact 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO. Gentaro Hongo, Cradle Pharmaceuticals Chief of Staff. Nagisa Nijisaki, Cradle Pharmaceuticals R&D Supervisor. Teruaki Kubota, Majority Shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Kagechika Musashido, I must punish them for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. 0. Junpei left the closet. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, 7, and June. He looked at each of them in turn, then slowly placed his hands in the pockets of his vest.
Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me?
Come with you.
I want all of you to go to the big hospital room.
Why?
There's something I want to be sure of.
What do you want to be sure of?
I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit.
Wait, then you're saying...
Yeah, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover.
The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by a tension like strap of leather stretched to its limit. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He planned not to notice.
Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room. I'll explain everything as soon as we get there.
Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock in the main staircase. The bell rang 5 times, then ceased.
It's 5 o'clock.
We've only got an hour left.
We don't have a lot of time left. Let's go.
Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom.
Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me.
Well, yeah, we moved on to the next section, so I think I'm going to end this episode here. Let me just save first. Yeah, I'm ending this episode here. Thanks for watching, see you guys in the next one, and bye!